This is Ready, Set, Reiki, a podcast about Reiki and all energy work. From the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher, welcoming all systems, all lineages, all levels. Reiki is a journey and not a destination. And on this Ready, Set, Reiki journey, I refer to myself as a guide rather than host, as I too am traveling, learning, and supporting others on this journey as well. And with that said, I am your guide, Tracy C. Wright, and this is Ready, Set, Reiki. Hello, Reiki family, Reiki blessings, one and all. I hope you're having an amazing morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are coming from in this beautiful world. So I'm Tracy C. Wright, and this is Ready, Set, Reiki. And today, another amazing, wonderful journey. But before I begin, I want to invite all of you to check out the Reiki Business Collective. This is a group on Facebook. It is totally free. It is led by Christian Sandy Stone. He is a gentleman who is out there helping support and raising the vibration of all of us out there. So it's a really wonderful community to connect, ask questions. There is nobody gatekeeping. It is all supporting a variety of individuals in different places on their journey. And my next guest, this is how I connected with her through the wonderful Christian Standing Stone. So let me tell you a little bit about her. So her name is Teresa Morris. Now, she is a registered nurse with over 35 years of experience. Now, she blends traditional and complementary medicine to empower individuals on their healing journey. Now, her philosophy is holistic, shaped by firsthand experience. Now, she has various different healing modalities to expand her skills. And she's going to tell you all about this. I think we're pretty much the same in all of the kind of modalities that we do, which is wonderful. Now, her workshops are dynamic. Her participants engage in hands-on lessons, examples of painting on canvases, which she often reveals subconscious issues. Now, follow-ups are provided to support, with their learning. One of her greatest gifts is helping clients sort through their challenges or issues to find what makes them shine. Now, she is known for her down-to-earth approach, and she inspires individuals to reclaim their health journey. Now, she reminds us that all healing begins within. And since 2000, she has taught Reiki to nurses and to, lay people in the U.S. and in the UK. So let's give a Ready, Set, Reiki. Welcome to Teresa Morris. Welcome.
Morning, Tracy. How are you?
Good. Well,
Thank
welcome to Ready, Set, Reiki. So let's begin our journey together. But we already had the pleasure of meeting. Christian makes wonderful opportunities for people to connect. So we connected in a breakout room where we got to chat with each other. So that's why it's important. If you feel this is your journey to move forward, to reach out and connect with that page, because he provides these opportunities for people to connect.
Yes, he does. And I've met a lot of wonderful individuals by joining and being a part of the Reiki Collective. He came along at a time where we all need somebody like him to bring us all together. And as you said, we meet some wonderful individuals, and that's how we met. And that was such a joy when we were speaking in the breakout room. It was great.
Right. So, we look at it as a journey, not a destination. And on a journey, you always have helpers and guides along the way. So please never feel that you are alone in this. There are helpers along the way. And we both are helpers along the way.
Yes, we are.
Let's begin this journey. So I told the listeners a little bit about you, but I know there is way, way more here. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I was born in Liverpool in the United Kingdom. I've been here for more than 40 years. I was a midwife, so I assisted bringing life onto the planet. And I've also worked with people who were in hospice, so I've helped people transition off the planet. Always been a humbling experience, one of the greatest. Now, I think my family members were or are intuitive, although in those days we would just say, oh, they know things. But they had premonitions. So who knew that they were sort of psychic in a way? I didn't. I began my own journey in 1995 with healing touch, because at that time, that's what most nurses gravitated towards. Reiki wasn't even in the world at that time, at least not in my world. So it was healing touch. And I was also a member of the Edgar Cayce Center for Research and Enlightenment in Virginia Beach. And I spent a lot of time down there. And they worked with things like psychometry and also past life. And that's where I got to meet Dr. Brian Weiss, and with a lot of past life exercises and just things that help to open you up even more, especially your intuition. So it was a great time, met a lot of great people. And again, myself learned a lot of things. And then when did I realize that I could do Reiki? Actually, I didn't. I meditated a great deal. And I was in meditation that I actually saw the Reiki symbols. And I had no idea what they were. I was used to seeing Egyptian symbols or Mayan symbols. So I'm like, to my guides, I'm like, well, I don't speak Chinese. What is this? And then I was in a bookstore, and as I walked in, on the table, there was a book about Reiki. It was called Essential Reiki by Diane Stein. So of course I bought the book, came home, practiced doing all the symbols, and then found a teacher. I was initiated into Reiki and then began the journey of using Reiki with individuals. And from then on, I've done Reiki ever since. And I absolutely love it.
So you would say that you found Reiki or Reiki found you?
I would say Reiki found me.
All right. Do you want to share your different systems that you have studied?
I've studied with, obviously, Usui Reiki. I have done Sacred Flames Reiki. I have done a system called Aswanda Reiki, but they're all the same to me. Mm-hmm. They may have different presentations, but basically the energy is the same. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I moved from Healing Touch to Reiki was because in Healing Touch, you direct the energy. In Reiki, you don't. Reiki is intelligent and it knows where to go. And you are just a facilitator. You are just there to facilitate that energy. And that's why, for me, Reiki resonated more than Healing Touch.
Beautiful. So as you've been on this journey for quite some time, as you stand here today and you look back at everything, what are some misconceptions that you have found that people have told you about Reiki?
So many. Well, the most common question you get asked when you say, I practice Reiki is, oh, is that massage? No. Is it a religion or a cult? No. Do you have to have special intuitive abilities to practice Reiki? No. Do you have to be chosen to practice Reiki? No. Anyone can practice and learn Reiki. It's that simple. It's one of the simplest methods of helping someone to feel better, to balance their energy, to feel good about themselves, actually. And it's not some mystical woo thing that we all do. It's very simple. And of course, it relies on touch. And we all need the touch of another human being, whether we know or not, but we do.
Beautiful, beautiful. I always believe that every family should at least have one nurse, someone in the medical profession, and a Reiki practitioner. It really does. I mean, it's so helpful. I mean, you can tell the difference, especially like when you're in the hospital and you have someone with that medical background. My mom, you're in the hospital, she comes to visit, she's in nurse mode.
And even myself, I'm retired now, but still, it's an innate thing within you. If you are a nurse, you just can't help. You cannot resist helping someone, giving advice. Yeah, it's just part of who you are.
I mean, it's a heart of service. That's what it is in nursing, a heart of service, and in teaching. There's other professions as well, but it is heart of service. So, as being a nurse for decades, your experience in Reiki, you've had helped students, you've helped patients, you've brought life in, you've assisted those who have transitioned. What has been the biggest challenge or struggle you have faced in your own healing journey?
The biggest challenge for me, actually, Tracy, was when my mother transitioned. My mother was my best friend. And for me, waking up every single day between 2 and 3 a.m. with this terrible, terrible pain that I couldn't handle. And I was still meditating at this time, but I wasn't getting any relief. I was just so, it's a pain you can't describe. But anyway, so I had to find a way to get rid of this pain. And so I looked into Carolyn Mace and the Chakras. And one of their books was about why people don't heal and how they can. And so that began my little journey of, okay, how do I get rid of this pain? How do I get back to who I was before I lost my mother? So I studied the chakras, and then, of course, went into Reiki and combined the two now, because for me, I believe that if you understand the chakra, the energetic system that we all have, that also helps with the Reiki. Because you have to get to the root cause of why are you unwell, or why do you feel this way? And I think using the two together helps my clients to move on in their journey.
Thank you for sharing that. And I'm so sorry for the loss of your mother. It's really life-changing when you lose a parent,
Very much so.
Grief, it's so hard to describe it, but you feel like you're in quicksand, right? That you just can't move through it. And it's a heaviness that I don't wish upon anyone,
But here's the interesting thing, Tracy. I'd been told by a psychic a year before that my mother would pass. And I was like, no, she's talking nonsense. She doesn't know what she's talking about. My mother's fine. And then, of course, it happened. And then you remember and you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And also in meditation, I was told too, because when I do meditation, I write. So my meditation goes like this. I sit down and I write to spirit, God, whatever you want to call that supreme being. And I write like I'm speaking to you. And I ask questions. And then I meditate for 15 or 20 minutes, whatever long it takes. And then I'll look at what I've written. And in that writing, it said, you will not see your mother again after August the 1st. And I just thought, well, why? Is she going somewhere? Where's she going?
Yeah.
And then, of course, my mother passed on August the 1st. So all these things are coming at you and you're like, wow. But again, thanks to Reiki, I was able to get through that.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing that. Many practitioners, have brought up about how they wish they were more intuitive and wish that, they could see things for other people and know things for other people, but not themselves. And it's so interesting. I know for myself, things come in dreams, or I'll know something about someone, but when it comes to my own life, I'm like, hey, why can't I do this? And I had someone point out to me, are you asking? And you just described all of that, like what your process is with your writing and everything. So that gives our listeners a little example of like, hey, give it a try. And you're consistent. That's the other thing. People give up too quickly. You have to stick with it for a while. I mean, some of my manifestation journals, it's taken 3 years for something to come up. And it's with that dedication, that consistency, and that belief and the openness to be like, I'm ready, right? This outrageous openness.
And then you look back at, like, I have books. I have books going back to, my God, the 90s, where you can see this journey that you've been on.
Yeah.
And you can see where spirit has stepped in and helped.
Yeah.
You may not know at the time. You may expect spirit to respond to you immediately. It doesn't go that way at all, as you know.
Yeah.
It takes its own time, its own journey. You have to have the faith that this is what it's going to be. Yeah. As they say, get out of the way and let God or spirit do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. because we're so focused on the calendar or the time clock, and it really is about alignment. And there's things that I've written down and I've looked back. I'm like, wow, I'm glad that didn't go that way, right? God intervened and handled it. And oh, well, it was something better that I had never, ever imagined before. I mean, I know for sure 3 years ago, I never would imagine I'm here in El Paso and my life is this way, because I was in the schools, right? I was just teaching, and I always knew I had a heart of a teacher, but God had different plans of teaching in different ways. So be open to that as well.
Same here, Tracy. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and things weren't going so well, and I knew I wanted to leave, but where to go to? And my friend who was a psychic told me, she goes, you have to leave this place.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And again, in meditation, I was told, you're going to be leaving Georgia, but not where I'm going to.
Yeah.
Well, I was lucky that my brother lived here in California. And so I came to California. My life changed completely. And I mean, completely.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to express how it changed. It's just different.
Right.
And all because I just had that little bit of faith and said, okay, I'm going to trust that what I'm getting is true. I'm going to go with this. And at the time, I didn't know how I was going to do this. And it all worked out the way it's supposed to.
There you go. Beautiful. I love that. So when it is time for you to get an energetic tune-up, what are some qualities that you look for in a Reiki practitioner? If you do not get a tune-up, what were some of the qualities that attracted you to your teachers?
So I would say, for me, experience is always number one. And then how ethical are they? Are they coming from a place of integrity? Are they authentic? And how do I feel about this person? Again, I'm a big believer in trusting your own gut and your own intuition. And if I don't feel in alignment with you, then I'm not going to come to you at all. And the other thing is, I know when I'm out of sync, if you will. You get that feeling where you just feel icky. I don't feel ill. I just feel off kilter.
Yeah.
So I know this for myself now. And because I use crystals as well, I will often lay down on my table with my crystals around me to raise my vibration or to raise my energy. If that doesn't work, then I'll go and see another practitioner,
right,
and have a session with them.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. So leaving the nursing profession, retired, as you stand here and you're looking at how things have unfolded in your life, what is some advice you'd give to someone who is just starting out? Maybe they're in nursing, maybe they're in business, and they're feeling the call. I want to do this. I want to start this. So what pearls of wisdom can you give them?
Okay. First thing is to ask yourself, why? Why do I want to suddenly change from, let's say, corporate America into the spiritual realm? And then I would meditate, whether it be 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. I would try to meditate on the question of why. You'll get your answers. You'll get clarity. I would also try journaling, because when you write things down, you have two things happen. You are saying to the universe, this is what I want, or this is what I need. And when you write it down, it becomes more solid because you can see it, you can read it. Research on what kind of work do you want to do. Do you want to be a Reiki practitioner? Do you want to be a sound healer? Do your research on the practice that you're looking to get into. Be true to yourself, right? We're all on our own unique journey. What's right for me, maybe not right for you. So be true to yourself. Use your critical thinking and ask questions. And then look for mentors, teachers, like Christian Standing Stone, a mentor to all of us. You, a mentor to all of us in this community. That empower you and answer rather than telling you what to do or what to think, So, Trace, you always say that we're on a journey, and it's true. It is a journey. It's not a destination. And growth is a lifelong process. There is no finish line because you're continually growing, learning, evolving, and changing.
Right.
So they're the things I would do if I was on the spiritual path.
And I mean, sometimes you feel you'll take a few steps forward and then you'll stop. Things will, be like stagnant, and then you'll take some steps back. You'll have to
How
stop.
many times? How
Yeah.
many times do you
So
do
many
that?
times. So be open to it. Don't get frustrated, and don't watch other people either. Like it's not a competition. Everybody has gifts. And if you have someone that's gatekeeping, that's a big, big red flag. And you'll have it too. They were like, nope, you can't come in here because I already do this. Yeah. So
No, you have to be true to yourself and find your own path. And as you said, don't compare yourself to other people. We've all got our own unique gifts.
Yeah.
And you'll find what your gift is, and it will come to you if it's for you. It's not about, oh, she's better than me or she does. It's not about that. It's about you being yourself, bringing your gifts forward and doing what you have to do in this world. Yeah. That's it.
So what books do you recommend? What is the Teresa Morris library?
There's so many. See them behind me?
I see them. There's a little library.
Well, I started off with Reiki, a comprehensive guide by Pamela Miles. And Pamela Miles is someone who's big again in the Reiki world.
Yeah.
And if you remember, she came to fame through Dr. Oz on TV.
Yeah.
Nothing against Dr. Oz or whatever your political belief is, but that's how she brought Reiki sort of mainstream. So she's an excellent teacher. I've actually met Pamela Miles, and she's quite nice. She really is. And her book is easy to understand. The next one would be the therapeutic touch, how to use your hands to heal, by Dolores Crader. And that's where we started with the healing touch for the nurses.
Yeah.
Another one I like is Reiki for the Heart and Soul. The Principles of a Spiritual Pathway by Amy Rowlands. Again, these books are really easy to read. They're not overcomplicated. They're very simple. And the last one would be Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Mace, because that sort of leads you into thinking, why do I act this way? Or why do I continue to carry this wound with me? Mm-hmm. She kind of explains about how we as humans like to live in different states of being, like being a victim, and so that explains how and why people do what they do. And they're just basic books that help you as a practitioner or as a person to understand people around you and why they act and behave the way that they do. So they're the four that I started off with.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So what other services do you offer? Do you offer any classes, events, trainings?
So I do Reiki one-to-one, obviously, in person. I do distant Reiki. I do a program about the chakras, which is where we can either do one chakra or we can do all 7. Again, it's up to the client what they feel comfortable with. I do meditations, and I use crystals and essential oils. And I use all these things in my practice because they all go hand in hand, and they are simple, they are effective, and again, anyone can use them. I'm not giving you something where you've got to go and spend thousands of dollars to find how to get well. These are very simple things. I mean, even just using essential oil, lavender, let's say you can't sleep. You just put lavender on your hands and then you just inhale the lavender. It works on the limbic system, so you're able to get to sleep. You're anxious, so then purchase a crystal that will ground you. And you can walk around with that in your pocketbook or in your pocket. Mm-hmm. Just simple things that help you to be more balanced in this world we live in today. So they're the things that I use a lot of.
So where can we find you, online or in person, if we'd like to book a session or take a training with you?
I'm online at Teresa at ReikiChakraConnections.com.
Beautiful.
Because as we enter 2026, which is a number 1 year, I am redoing all of my branding, if you will.
Beautiful.
I'm changing it around, as we often do, again, on our journey.
We do. Yeah, that's a whole other thing too with websites and social media and marketing and oh my goodness, like and all you want to do is connect, right? And be a service and then you have all this other things that you need to do as well.
Yeah, but the connection's important. It really is.
Yeah. Well, that ends the first part of our journey, and I'm going to guide you into the second part, which are questions from listeners and from Reiki students. So here we go. Number one, having visited psychics and clairvoyants since a very young age, in your opinion, what makes a good psychic?
That's a huge question, isn't it, really? Okay, for me, communication skills. You have to have someone that listens to you and that they're being honest and ethical. You know, they're not trying to exploit you for financial gain.
Yeah.
They show compassion towards you. They meet you where you are, in other words. They understand your situation. They don't try to coach you into getting more readings with them because, again, financial gain.
Mm-hmm.
They are here to help you. They want you to feel empowered and take responsibility for your decisions, not just give you information, but help you to feel empowered. And I've met many psychics. I've been going to psychics since I was 18 years of age. Because in the UK, psychics and clairvoyants are very different to what they are here in the USA.
Yeah.
So my friends and I would go once a week. And that might seem excessive, but, you know, we would have the psychic would come, and she'd read us all. A psychic that asks you a lot of questions and vague questions that they could ask anybody, that's the one you want to go to. And again, trust your gut. You will know when you're sitting down with a psychic whether or not they are the real deal. You'll just know. I went to one lady, Tracy, in Maryland, and she looked the part. She had a hat on with a feather on one side and all these outlandish clothes. And I knew she was full of cash, we say. But I thought I'll play along. She was $10 at the time. So my friends went first, and then I went. And she's sitting there and she's talking to me, and I'm just nodding my head like, you know, lady, you are so full of it. And at the end, I said to her, I said, you know what? I said, you are absolutely ridiculous. And she goes, oh. And I said, I'm sorry, but you just told me a whole pile of nonsense.
Wow.
Because, again, why do people do that? Well, we're all human.
Yeah.
And so you may think to yourself, oh, they're a psychic or they're a Reiki practitioner. They've got to be a good person. Not always so. As you know, people are people. And there are scammers in every walk of life.
Yeah.
So again, it comes back to you, the individual. You have to feel comfortable. You have to sort of really look at this person. Are they truly a psychic, or are they just telling you what they think you want to hear?
Right.
So that's how you determine who's good, who isn't.
Very good. Thank you for those helpful hints, because some people get out there and they get scammed. So it's really important to listen to that. Well, this kind of works into our next question here about those instincts. So how important is listening to your instincts helps you in helping to fulfill your purpose?
For me, number one. You know, again, you're a student of the world. I'm a Reiki practitioner. I may want to go and take this class or that class or try this new method of doing things. However, if for me in my gut it doesn't feel correct, I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't.
Yeah.
And learning to trust yourself and your gut takes a lot of practice and a long, long time to go with what you actually feel. You know, like you may be offered a job, as I was once offered a very high paying job, and I was all excited, you know, I'm making all this money. But then I had to stop and think, wait a minute, what am I being asked to do for that kind of money? And how do I feel in my own body? Like, what's my body telling me? You know, sit for a minute and just sit with that and think, how do I feel? What emotions are coming up for me? Or what feelings are coming up for me? And then just go with your own gut feeling, because it will never, ever, ever steer you wrong. It really won't.
Right.
And so I always listen to my own instincts. And if I'm still on the line or still waving a little bit, I'll take a crystal pendulum and I'll get my answers that way too, as confirmation. So both things work for me.
Right. I remember, and I learned at this point to listen to my instincts. And I had woken up at like 2:30 in the morning, and I was supposed to do an event. And I had enough time. Like it was about three weeks or 4 weeks until this event. And I just woke up out of a sleep and said, I got to get out of this. Like it just, I had this feeling, and I was like, something shifted, something changed. And I thought, when I get up in the morning, I'm going to tell her I can't do this. And I felt bad, but I mean, I gave enough time, but it was this insistency that, no, you can't do this. Like, get out of this now.
That's right. Or even simple things. Maybe sometimes you are going somewhere and you just feel, I shouldn't go there today. Then don't go there. Listen again. Pay attention. We are all energetic beings. And we have to sort of push out all that excessive noise that's out there and just get quiet and go within. And again, pay attention to your own gut. It will never, ever put you in the wrong place. Never.
Good advice. So 3, as a nurse where I work, Reiki is not widely accepted. What can I do to incorporate Reiki during my shift in a way that does not call attention?
Well, let me say, first of all, I'm very sorry that Reiki is not accepted in your place of employment, and has been that way for a long time. However, it is changing, thankfully. As a nurse, for you, or anyone really, again, Reiki doesn't always have to be on a massage table or on a chair. You can send Reiki with your eyes. You can send distant Reiki. But if in a clinical situation, you have opportunities where you are touching a patient, you are turning that patient, you are soothing their bedclothes, placing your hands on that patient's body, no matter where, maybe just an arm, maybe just a hand. It's all about your intent. It's feeling the person. It's the intent of you want to help them to feel better. Even giving up medication. If you are a Reiki practitioner, you could always give Reiki to the medication before you give it to the patient. You're not really pulling attention to yourself. You're doing it in a very subtle, quiet way. I used to do Reiki on my clients in the hospital. Maybe just holding the patient's hand while I'm talking to them. But at the same time, I'm sending them Reiki. When I worked in my last position, I had the symbols on my phone, which may sound strange to some people, but the symbols on the phone meant that when I spoke to them, they received the Reiki energy. So there's lots of different ways to do this, but in a hospital, you're in the ideal position because, again, you're using your hands all the time with those patients. So you can just touch them and intend to send Reiki. It's that simple. I mean, that's why I like Reiki so much. It's a very simple way of helping someone. It's really that simple. It's all about intent and sending out good, positive vibes to those people that you're taking care of or to anybody. Yeah. And again, even when you get home, let's say you've had a client that day or a patient that day who's, I don't know, in the ICU or has had surgery, you could write their name on a piece of paper when you get home, place your hands over that paper and send them Reiki. And that's a form of sending distant Reiki. It's all about your intent. And it works.
Beautiful. I would know when my dad was in the ICU and just adjusting his blanket, imbue it with the energy, touching the bottoms of his feet, right. Touching his IV bag, no one knew what I was doing, and walking, imagining the symbols on the bottoms of my feet and walking around the room, right? Doorways, things like that. So yeah, well, it's a random kindness.
There's lots of different ways, like I said, that you can do this. When I worked in OB, my friend and I used to, before we got to work, send ahead white light that we would have a great night and our patients would have a wonderful experience. Yeah. And then in the L&D suite, we would place crystals in the plant pots. Unbeknown to anybody, just slowly put the crystal in the plant pots.
Yeah.
And sometimes even draw the symbols on the walls.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're raising the vibration. You are bringing Reiki into that place.
Yeah.
And you're asking for the person or persons to be healed or to receive what is the best for their highest good.
Yeah. Yeah. Same way that like a football team gets together, to connect before a game. I worked at a Christian school and we would gather in the hallway and we would pray before the start of the day to set that intention to bless everyone and that, they have an amazing day and an effortless day. So yeah, it's the same type of energy.
Same thing. I run a Reiki group twice a month. There's 13, 14 of us sometimes. And we all get together and we send Reiki out to different people.
Yeah.
And we send Reiki out to the world, which again, you may say, well, why? Nothing's changed. But actually it does.
Yeah. So you sit in church and they ask for praying for people and they put their names in the bulletin. Then you have a prayer box and you light a candle. So
all these things work. But again, the most important thing, Tracy, it's your intention.
Yeah.
The intention is what makes it possible, I think.
Yeah.
If you intend for someone to feel better or for a good outcome, it's the intention. And that's what makes it stronger and that's what makes it work. So,
So that was our last question. As we've been talking, is there anything that you have forgotten or something you want to share with the listeners? The floor is yours.
I think I'd like to share this. I have noticed, and maybe you have too, but there are a lot of people who are really, really going through tough times. And I don't mean just because of the economy or any of those things, but just tough times in general. Everybody needs to be shown kindness, love, and respect. We would be amazed if we really understood how many of our friends are truly in pain but don't know they're in pain. So why not try to help them in whichever way you can? And kindness costs nothing. It costs nothing to be kind, to give a smile, to give a compliment, to change somebody's day, to make them feel valued, if you will, that somebody really cares, that you've seen them. Even the homeless person on the street, don't walk past them as if, oh my goodness, the horrible person. Say hello.
Yeah.
They just want to be recognized, as we all do. And it costs nothing to say hello. So just be kind.
Yeah.
And it comes back to you in so many other ways. Sometimes people think that with Reiki, there has to be an energy exchange. Well, not always. It's not always instant either. You could do Reiki today on somebody and not even get paid. And that's fine too, because it will come back to you in other ways.
Right.
It's not all about making money in Reiki. It's not. It's about helping that person to come back into balance.
Yeah.
And to feel whole again. And that's the whole intention of Reiki.
Yeah. Even when I do an offer like free Reiki, I ask pay it forward in some way in your lifetime, pay it forward. If you can't afford to do this now. Yeah.
Right. And not everybody can afford Reiki or, we all charge different prices, obviously, but it's up to you yourself as the individual, how you want to practice your Reiki.
Right.
And whether you want to give it away or not. It's not a crime to do free Reiki. I mean, I've done so many free Reiki. Not a big deal.
Right.
Because it comes back to you in other ways.
Yeah. Usually practitioners get worried about charging, instead of free. They feel bad charging.
No, but I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't charge. By all means, please charge. And don't give it away all the time. What I'm saying to you is, though, don't always expect to receive something right away because you did it for free for someone. Because it comes to you in different ways. It always does.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Teresa, for taking time out of your very busy schedule to join me on this Ready, Set, Reiki journey.
Tracy, it has been a pleasure, honestly. And I hope to see you again when we meet for our Reiki Collective business meetings. Absolutely. Because they are so much fun. And I hope some of your listeners will join as well because you learn so much. and you meet so many interesting people.
Yeah. And it costs nothing to join on Facebook. You can just be that observer until you feel comfortable. And, the Christian has a lot of offerings. And the things that I like about him as well is he's staying contemporary. What is the need in the moment? And he also has a podcast as well, business collective, business Reiki podcast. And that gives you a lot of information as well to help you. So he does ask people, what's something that's everybody's worried about? He also does share your win for the week, where you can come on and you can toot your own horn, right?
He does a lot of different things. I always say this in the community. He is so needed at this time.
Yes.
I mean, he came at the right time.
Yes.
And when we're all together, whether we are practitioners or people that are just listening in or just want information, you'll always walk away with some gem.
Yeah.
And you'll go, really? So you always learn something. You really do.
Yeah. So you're not alone. Iron sharpens iron, right? And we support each other. And when one of us wins, we all win. So
correct.
All right. All right, my wonderful listeners, if you would like your question featured on Ready, Set, Reiki, reach out, www.readysetreiki.com, or find me on social media. I'm Tracy C. Wright, and this has been Ready, Set, Reiki.